Thank you for joining us on Inside Lagos, reaching you from Martin Street, the heart of the old Eyigbeti area on Lagos Island. Eyigbeti is the downtown of Lagos known for corporate quarters and departmental stores. It is one of the first developed areas in Lagos State and a symbol of commerce. In fact, there is this saying in Lagos that Boju Oba Eyigbeti, Oju Oni Teko, meaning if Eyigbeti is not shamed, Lagos can never be disgraced. I'm Adedoja, Salam Adeniyi. You're welcome to the show.
Ẹni tí òde kò yìn ẹkùn kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni òde kò yìn ẹkùn kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Mo ní pé bó o bá dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn òyìnbó débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Haúsá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn Ìgbò débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Gbogbo Yorùbá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tí wọ́n mú lọ. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni òde kò yìn ẹkùn kan. Èkó ò ní bàjẹ́ lórí àwa. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ọ̀pọ̀ ò bá dé kò yìn ẹkùn kan.
As part of Lagos State government commitments to improving health care delivery in the state, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu inaugurated a fully equipped primary health care center at Ifelodun Local Council Development Area. He named the project after the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu.
The revamped secretariat of the Ajeromi Ifelodun local government area was completely razed and looted by arsonists in the destruction that trailed the ENSAS protests last October. The edifice, named after the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, was built by the chairman Ifelodun Local Council, Mr. Fatai Shuaib Ajidagba. The two-story, fully equipped healthcare facility was designed to provide monthly health services to an estimated of 5,000 people in 5 local councils.
Together, when we do it together, we can do it better and stronger. And this is what is shown here today. This local government secretariat will serve everybody, irrespective of your tribe, irrespective of your race, irrespective of your religion. It is an edifice that will serve all the residents of Ajeromi local government. And I'm truly, really happy. And I'm hoping that what we're doing here will begin to build and will begin to heal whatever our grievances, whatever must be the pain that each one of us have suffered. But we can see that when we come together, our strength in our unity is more than any other thing that attempts to divide us.
Governor Sanwo-Olu also donated 6 brand new vehicles to the council to help smooth administrative duties.
I'm truly, truly impressed with our 2 local government chairmen at Ifelodun and Ajeromi. Both of them have demonstrated, that indeed there is hope in the 3rd tier of government, that they can be examples of what true leadership should be at our local government development areas and local government. There are 4 pickups and 2 vehicles to aid you, to ensure, and they are brand new, to aid you and to ensure that you get back to work, to serve your citizens all around here, and to begin to ensure that the real dividends of democracy at the grassroots level are being felt.
What you have come to do, to witness the transformation of one of our oldest local government in Lagos that has been destroyed. It has been transformed in such a way that for the destroyers to have a look at this, the beauty of this place will always pose a challenge to their conscience. When there is zeal and determination to do something, nothing stops you. That's why I have to congratulate the chairman of this council.
Some few months ago, it should be emphasized that members of the executive legislative and management team in Nigeria for the local government area sacrificed 3 months' salaries and other incentives in order to support the refurbishment of these edifices. My decision is also indebted to some companies and individuals who supported us with donation of office furniture, air conditioners, and monetary donations. Prior to this, impact of COVID-19 and the hoodlums attack on our secretariat had altered our projects and programs in Nigeria local government area for the remaining part of the year 2020. Some of these includes COVID-19 business support grants of 100,000 each for 40 beneficiaries on a monthly basis in order to support their businesses during the heat of COVID-19 pandemic. Digital training for public school teachers and pupils as part of efforts towards enhancing their ICT skills and making them to compete favorably among their peers.
The governor also performed the groundbreaking for the rebuilding of the magistrate court burned in the council secretariat.
Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala and Akinwumi Adesina have joined President Muhammadu Buhari to call for the development in economic infrastructure, investment in youth and women, and enhanced private sector contribution for Lagos to achieve its vision of becoming a smart city. This was part of the 2021 Inaugurates Lagos Economic Summit with the theme for a greater Lagos, setting the tone for the next decade. We were there.
Inaugurates had always attracted business and political leaders, renowned economists, notable development experts, outstanding scholars from different parts of the world. And this 8th edition is no different. The only difference this year is the adherence to the COVID-19 safety protocol that have made many to join the conference virtually. One of those who was not physically present is President Muhammadu Buhari. He said the federal government is determined to open up opportunities by which Lagos State can achieve its mega city projects.
A Lagos that can keep up with its growing population in terms of housing, education, healthcare, security, and jobs. A Lagos that is innovative and productive.
In a virtual questions and answers with Governor Sanwo-Olu, this is Dr. Okonjo-Iweala's first appearance after a victory as the Director General of the World Trade Organization. In response to a question by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, she wants Lagos to invest in technology, embrace artificial intelligence, digital economy, and youth empowerment.
A successful Africa and a successful Lagos State is one that creates jobs for its citizens. And this means 2 or 3 things. I think we have to concentrate our minds on the continent about, and in our country, Nigeria, and in Lagos State, about how we create modern, decent jobs for our young people. And we have a great opportunity to do that. I think one of the things that is very difficult for the continent, for Nigeria, for Lagos State now, is the fact that we're still mainly raw materials-based kind of economy. I know Lagos is our manufacturing hub, but if you look at the whole of Africa, we're still mainly exporting very primary products, whether it is fossil fuels like we have in Nigeria, oil and gas, and in Angola, Mozambique, and so on, or it's minerals, diamonds, and tin and copper and things like that from other countries, or agricultural products, cocoa, coffee, and so on. So we have to get from a position where we're exporting raw materials to one where we are adding more value and processing. When I listened to you, talked about Lagos becoming an agro-processing center, notwithstanding the fact that its land area is the smallest in the country. So for Lagos, for Nigeria, and for the continent, we have to ask ourselves the big question: how do we industrialize Africa? And the Agenda 2063 of the African Union looks very much at how we can get there. Let me just give you 1 or 2 examples where I think opportunities can be seized. Africa imports more than 90% of the pharmaceutical products that we use on the continent, 90%. So that is a big gap, and there's an opportunity for us to manufacture those products. We have a market of 1.3 billion people, equivalent to China or India's. And with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement that is now under implementation, that means we are going, actually that is aiming at a common market. Free borders when it actually works. What does it mean? It means that Nigeria and Lagos should look at how they can take advantage of such a big market to make Nigeria not just a consumer center where other people send goods, but a big manufacturing center that sends goods to other countries.
The view shared by the president of the African Development Bank is similar to this. He said the youths are the asset for the state and should be given chance.
Public-private partnerships should be prioritized. Fiscal incentives should be provided to the private sector to invest in infrastructure, agriculture, housing, and digital financial services for wider financial inclusion, especially for women.
The host governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, urged everyone to join him to look ahead to the next decade when Lagos will become a smart city.
I now invite you to join me to look ahead at the next decade and the possibility that lies ahead for Lagos State. In other words, what do Lagos should look like by 2030? There will be a city-wide network of colored-coded metro lines, the first two of which are the red line and the blue line, which we believe that once it's completed, it will move close to 35 million people on a monthly basis, which we believe will also cut the total travel time by over 250%. By 2030, Lagos will proudly stand beside every other mega city in the world in terms of the capacity to transport its people efficiently and effectively and do that responsibly. Our water transportation system will, by 2030, be a central element of life in this mega city and no longer just a marginal asset. The fourth mainland bridge that we all truly talk about would have come to define the cityscape of Lagos by or before the end of 2030. And in the same way in which we begin to see the skylines on Lekki, Ikoyi Link Bridge, and also the upcoming regional bridge on also that corridor. Going beyond just having transportation infrastructure system that a mega city of the status deserves, we will ensure that all of these systems are interconnected and truly multimodal. That the roads, the waterways, and the rails are integrated and are opening synergy to bring maximum benefit and comfort to the greatest number of our communities. By 2030, Lagos will be a smart city, fully covered by a network of several thousands of kilometers of fiber optics, an infrastructure that will carry broadband internet into our homes, into our offices, into our schools, and unleash a technology revolution that has never been seen before in this part of the world. The smart city that is unfolding will also be home to a network of intelligent cameras that will support not only security and policing across the state, but will also ensure that our traffic management and data collection for urban planning is next to none. As we all know, land is not a resource that we're generously endowed with in Lagos. We're the smallest state in Nigeria by landmass. Of course, with the largest population. Yet, this should not be an excuse for us to shy away from exploiting the agricultural value chain to the fullest, with a focus on non-land intensive aspects like processing and value addition. By the year 2030, Lagos should be home to one of the largest rice mills in the world at Imota Ikorodu. We can still aspire, even with a geographical limitation, to feed ourselves and the rest of the country through the innovative use of technology and a focus on processing and agro-industries.
This marks the 21st year since the Inaugurates Summit commenced. Certainly, the longest by any subnational in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, I emphasize that 21 years of consistent planning, 21 years of various interests having an input into what eventually goes into the budget and to what eventually the plans and programs of both the public and private sector turn out to be. So when you see that developments have taken place in Lagos, you don't have to wander too far, to be honest. If policy is consistent, if policy is certain, investment comes in. The end result so far has been 7 well-received Inaugurates summits, 206 resolutions, of which 193 have been successfully implemented. A strong culture of public-private sector collaboration in Lagos State, and many, many great achievements.
This summit has been deployed as a recovery strategy from the shockwave of COVID-19 and the destroyed infrastructure to the NSAS protest last October. It is expected to strengthen the existing relationship between government and the private sector. It has been 3 days of intense dialogue over the future of Lagos. This comes months after the destruction of key facilities by hoodlums in October in the wake of the NSAS protest. The summit had 6 plenary, 20 discussion sessions driven by 146 speakers and panelists, with more than 10,000 participants in attendance, both physically and through virtual means.
We're not dealing with the youth of our age.
Governor Sanwo-Olu and his Kaduna State counterpart, Nasru El-Rufai, joined virtually from Abuja as they attended the National Executive Council meeting. The governors called on the private sector to support the Lagos State government.
Government alone cannot make it happen. We cannot single-handedly finance or execute all of the ambitious things that were laid ahead of us. Inaugurates speaks to what government, to what the private sector, to what the civil society can come and bring when we work together.
Lagos is very important to Nigeria. Lagos is 1/4 to 1/3 of our output as a country, our economy. Lagos has been blessed with very good governance. The reforms initiated by Governor Bola Tinubu are still being enjoyed and benefited by the people of Lagos. Other states have not been so lucky.
Deputy Governor reeled out some of the key highlights from the summit to include policies and programs, unveiling the potential of the teeming youth population.
The summit concluded that policies must be robust, that treat youths as assets, and that concerted youth-focused capacity building in digital literacy, STEM, the arts, entertainment. The state must develop zero tolerance for law-breaking and indiscipline, as well as hold its public officers accountable for unethical behavior.
Because the people are participating with us, right, you see the collective energy of Lagosians make action happen.
Inaugurates is a private sector-centered economic transformation conference that started 21 years ago. This particular edition of Inaugurates Summit is very important and timely to the rebuild Lagos agenda of the current government and its developmental campaigns of the themes agenda that stands for traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st century economy, entertainment and tourism, as well as security and good governance.
Nigerian leaders have been urged to strive to exceed expectations of the people while in power through populist programs like housing and education. Dignitaries and clerics said this at the 8th-day Fidao for the first civilian governor of the state, the late Latif Jakande. They noted that the late politician gained immortality through his people-oriented programs while in office.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin.
Several dignitaries attended the 8th-day prayer of the first civilian governor of Lagos State, Dr. Latif Jakande, at his Ilupeju residence in Lagos. Friends and associates who attended the event prayed for the repose of his soul.
It is not to build houses. It is not about wealth. It is indeed about the lives that you have been able to impact very positively. And if we have to keep count, in fact, Alhaji Abdul Latif Jakande has impacted a legion of lives.
What I'll say to Alhaja is, this is not a day for Lagos State. He's done so much for us. Lagos State will have his own day for tribute for Alhaji Latif Jakande. We will have a day in which we will chronicle as much as we can all of the very first that he has demonstrated for us. And we'll put it in perspective, because we need to bring children, we need to bring students, we need to bring them to history, especially the young ones today, for them to know indeed what he did, surmounted at that time, and what his legacy is. We all talk about it, but they need to see.
All our governors have for Alhaji Latif Jakande. That is why I am here to represent them, because he lived a life of service. His was a leadership of sacrifice.
We are all part of the family, his immediate family, and we, the extended family, both in the profession of journalism and in politics, that we must live to keep the legacy, the unbeatable records that the man set in Lagos as an example of what we should make our principle of life.
The national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC and former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, described the late Latif Jakande as the most progressive leader of his time.
We pray for Nigeria to give us more people, more leaders that are prudent, that are very honest, that give priority to the future, looking at what will become the life of the children. He converted 3 sets of school classes to one single one without failing. Only one. He converted so many hospitals. He is the most progressive individual that you ever have. Law. Progressive to the core.
From the Lekki-Ikoyi Link Bridge, the first cable-stayed flyover in Nigeria is one of the many strategic projects born out of the previous Inaugurates Summit. We call it a wrap on the show as Lagos residents look forward to the manifestation of the 11 resolutions made at this year's Inaugurates Summit. I'm Adedoja. Salam Adeni. See you next time. Bye for now.